Okay, so here we are for another series, the 91, 92 Skybox series. I think a lot of kids that I knew didn't really love the look of these ones, and by the time these ones came out, the downsides were the cards didn't look great because they had this boring white background with the funky 90s graphics in the background. And so not full photos, action shots, but like the players were cut out with a changed background. And the swoosh on the ball, there was in this series it was a yellow glow and a swoosh around the ball. Plus when you bought these packets there were no inserts. But that's just because, you know, the 90, 91, like around that time only Fleer were doing their inserts of, you know, All-Stars or what have you. Skybox were just all about the straight base set at that time. So, yeah, kids, and they probably even still say these cards look boring or they weren't that great, etc. Because it wasn't that exciting to buy a packet. But I didn't mind the design. I liked the looks of the Jordans in this set. Plus, there's a few other. I think Larry Bird's here as well. So you know, you've got a lot of the late '80s, early '90s Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers in there. So I'm just going to flip through this just in case. You know, I know that these cards can be looked up online, and you can click them individually from I think it's the, you know, card trading card, collector card database. There's a website where you can look up every set from every year from all codes, football, baseball, basketball, but I don't think you can just bring up one card and then click through, and then you got to click back in, and it's all a bit too hard to see them all. So I'm just going to flip through here and show you what these cards look like in the series, and hopefully on this side you'll see what they look on the back. So, you know, what have we got there? Is there a cord in the way? So, there we go. Okay, so here we go. Again, the Skybox always started with the teams just in alphabetical order of the city, and then alphabetical order of the player. And here we go. So there's the Larry Bird, that's the Dominic Wilkins. Again, here's the back of the card. So there's that Larry Bird card with his, looks like they had the 90, 91 stats only, and then the career stat. And again, different photos. A lot of these alternate photos on the back are probably from an event where they're all dressed up in suits for some reason. So more Celtics, Del Curry, Muggsy, Tyrone Bogues. Here come the Bulls, BJ Armstrong, Will Cartwright, Horace Grant, Craig Hodges, Dennis Hobson, Cliff Livingston, Stacey King, Michael Jordan, John Paxton, Will Perdue, Scottie Pippen. I'll show you this cool Scottie Pippen card. It's a pretty cool design, in my opinion. I'll show you on that one. In the back, chilling with some doggies. Cavs, Steve Kerr, Mavericks. This was the year Mutombo was a rookie, so he's in the Series 2 with the draft pick looking rookie card. Pistons. That's a pretty cool looking Rodman card. Isaiah Thomas is there, not a very great photo. Tim Hardaway. There's Dumas. Joe Dumas is back there. Warriors. Mitch Richmond. The Rockets, there's Elijah Wan. Kenny Smith. Pacers, there's Reggie Miller card. Clippers. I think the coolest Clipper is Ron Harper because he ended up becoming a Bull and getting a championship ring. Come the Lakers. So in this year, Irvin Johnson was in the set. Magic Johnson was in the set, which I think is pretty cool. AC Green in the Lakers. James Worthy. Byron Scott. Sam Perkins. The Heat. I think Harold Miner. No, Glenn Rice was here. I think Harold Miner hadn't been drafted yet. So a lot of players per team in this set. Bucks, before they had any great, awesome players, and a funky ass logo with a funky buck character on there. Timberwolves. Here come the Nets. Mookie Blaylock for all you Pearl Jam fans. Patrick Ewing. Here come the Knicks. Mark Jackson, Charles Oakley, John Starks, Gerald Wilkins. Here come the Magic. I think this might have been their second year after becoming an expansion team. Scott Skiles, Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott. '76ers when they had Barkley, Manute Bol. Phoenix, Kevin Johnson, Cedric Ceballos, Dan Marley, aka Dan Majel, Danny Ainge, who became a Suns, part of the Suns not long after this, and the Blazers, Clyde Drexler. That's a pretty cool dunk picture of Clifford Robinson. The Kings, Ralph Sampson, Sean Elliott, the Spurs, David Robinson, Avery Johnson. Sonics, Dana Barros. There's a pretty cool looking Sean Kemp card. I think I must have popped that one out yesterday to have a look. Gary Payton, Jazz, Karl Malone, Stockton, and the Washington Bullets at the end of the set. So I guess because they had so many of each team in the set, so what are they, 20, 23, 24 teams or whatever at the time. Washington Bullets rounded out the set, and as you can see they had many players. You know, I think the average was about 10 cards per. At the end they had this, you know, standout statistics subset for things like steal to turnover ratio, most minutes per game, you know, that kind of thing. So they managed to get a Jordan in here for per 48 minutes point leader. This card was cool because it's got Robinson and Olajuwon for best single game performance for blocks. And then they went on to the All-Star, so I guess that year they had these weird blue man dunking frickin' guys. Unless this was, yeah, the stay in school jam for the NBA All-Star weekend. That's a Barkley card for being the MVP, and then there's the, I guess, a behind the scenes card. Now what I don't understand is why Barkley's in white there, but then in this other jersey, it's a different style of jersey, it's not the opposite jersey, so not sure why it's red for that particular photo. Then it goes on to rookies from the previous year: D. Brown, Kendall Gill, Dennis Scott, Derek Coleman. Then there were these GQ cards where it's got the players dressed up, all looking nice in nice attire. Kevin Willis and Dominic Wilkins got 2 cards, and Gerald Wilkins is there. Then this was the 100 years of basketball, not just the NBA, the 100 years, so the centennial of basketball existing, and a couple of cards about the history. Then they went on to great moments from the finals. So for that previous year, I think it was Lakers Bulls. There's the a championship moment, and then different cards about different people in the finals, and then the championship card. Then that year and around that time, the NBA was pushing this stay in schools promotion, and so here's different cards about what kids should be thinking about studying and staying in school to study. Then there was the checklists, and then this card was a Barcelona 92 card. I'm pretty sure it came, it's a no numbered card, and I'm pretty sure it was an insert to these packets randomly. Not sure if it was season 1 or 2. Could assume it was 2, but that's the one-off card. Then it moves on to Series 2. So again, Series 2 is the first set that I completed all up. Go back and watch my first video for more info about that. But the Series 2 just starts with team cards for each. On the back, it's kind of got a a washed out photo of each team in a huddle, and the text about each team over the top of it. Obviously 1 card per team. There's the bullets. So that must be 27 teams if it's 9 cards times 3. Then there's the coaches. Then there's more team cards with the photo for each, so they called this subset game frame. So the Chicago Bulls one there has Horace Grant and Jordan, with it looks like someone from some other team stealing the ball off Jordan. Yeah, it's pretty funny. And then here we got Magic Johnson. So it's a Golden State Warriors card with Tim Hardaway with Magic Johnson trying to steal. And for the Pistons, you got Rodman on the floor scrapping, and I think that's Isaiah Thomas coming out of it to take a shot. The Lakers cards got Magic Johnson on it, passing to Campbell with Horace Grant defending. Where's the Sixers card? Philadelphia card, of course, has Barkley. Looks like going, get ready for a rebound. I think that's Karl Malone. On the Jazz card, it's got Karl Malone. And it looks like Kurt Rambis from the Suns at the time. Then they went under the subset called 6-Man. So BJ Armstrong for the Bulls, Del Curry for the Hornets, most notable. Mark Jackson for the Knicks. Yep, 1 for every team. So this subset is called Teamwork, so they got 2 players from every team. So Jordan and Pippen, of course. This one's got the Pistons has Lambia and Isaiah Thomas. For the Lakers, they got Worthy and Magic. I think that's Charles Oakley and Ewing for the New York Knicks. Barkley and I think Hersey Hawkins for the Sixers. And yeah, obviously Utah has Karl Malone and John Stockton as their pairing. Then they went on to this subset, I'm not sure what it's called, but I think it's about the rising stars. And again, they've picked 1 rising star for each team. Not a bad, not a horrible design. And yeah, if they got not much to put in Series 2, they're gonna do what they can in subsets. So they had the draft picks, so this would basically be the rookie cards as part of the base set. So pick number 1 through to pick 9. Luke Longley's there, Dikembe Mutombo's there, Steve Smith's there, obviously Larry Johnson is there, and Brian Williams. Go look him up, he's got an interesting story. I think he's dead. Then because of the 100 years of basketball, they've got these cards with a bit more about the history and changes to the game. Then they went into the Olympic cards for 92, Barcelona 92. Then they went into the 88 and the 84 Olympics cards. So to explain this, the Charles Barkley should be there. Then it moves on to these Dream Team players. And just, I guess, I reorganized it just in my binder to get all the... Well, they would have been all on this page anyhow. But I moved Barkley onto the same page. So basically I just swapped Barkley with that first 88 card, just so that Barkley ended up on the same page. While we're here, so I think when I got the box break, I did get all these cards plus 1 or 2. Like, I think I got a duplicate of the Jordan and the Bird card, but I didn't have a duplicate of the Mullins card. And so I think I wanted this for my personal collection, that I bought the cards I was missing, plus I also put a Jordan in my personal collection. So I did whatever I had to do. I bought them to make up this set as an additional set to have for my personal collection. But at this point, I think people are selling this subset, or at least these 3 cards from the set, as a thing of its own that people are interested in obtaining. So I think I might sell those. I think I might get about $50 Australian for that, if anything. People are selling graded sets of that for, I think, over 100 or around 100 Australian dollars anyway. But yeah, that was a pretty cool part of this set. So then they went on to having cards from 88 and 84 with like Stacey Ogman when he was in Seoul. And technically they should have had a Jordan for each of those years, but obviously once they've got a Jordan USA team card, they're not going to just double it up with his previous Olympics cards. So Seoul 88 with the players that were in those teams. Then we got Vern Fleming from the Los Angeles 84 Olympics. 84. And again, these, as we all know, these were all players that were at the time not professional, because they couldn't put professional NBA players into the Olympics until Barcelona. Then they got a subset called the Magic of Skybox. Our larger one card looks pretty cool. Reggie Lewis there, rest in peace. They got the Skybox salutes. So some pretty cool players in that subset. Last one they saluted was Pat Riley, I guess, because he had so many championships in the previous decade. Then they got Sky Masters with dudes that dunk really cool. That's a pretty cool Sky Masters Kemp card. That's an okay Drexler card. It's a pretty cool D Brown card. I dare say that's from the dunk comp. And I'm pretty sure that's from the dunk comp. And there's the Jordan Sky Masters. More Sky Masters, including Pippen, Dominic. Then they move on to Sharpshooters, so Shooting Star subset with Bird. Is that one page? John Paxton, of course, Chris Mullin, Reggie Miller, of course, Drazen Petrovic, rest in peace. Manute Bol, rest in peace. Pippen, Rodman. This is a small school sensations subset. Then they went back into some cards for the stay in school promotion. Different subjects that you can continue to learn in school if you stay in school. Then at the end of this set they moved into the cards that were, again, they were either trades in their new jerseys or, yeah, new members to the team. I'd say these were basically trades, so any of these team members, like they've only got one there for the Celtics, but they got 4 for the Hawks. Again, new players or traded players in their new jerseys. And yeah, if you're a traded player, you're not usually a hot player. So that's basically it for this set. And of course the checklists at the end.